So you're ready to start teaching piano lessons. Only one problem. How do you find piano students? Let's talk free marketing strategies that have worked for me. Try that again. Hey, if we haven't met yet, I'm Phoenix and I'm the Tattooed Piano Teacher. I started my independent piano studio about a decade ago, and when I first started out, I tried some marketing strategies, some that worked, some that didn't. Here's what I would recommend you do if you're just starting out as a piano teacher. One little disclaimer before we get started, these marketing strategies are going to be focused on in-person lessons. So you're looking for local people who are going to be coming to your home to take piano lessons. Not so much in the online world, where the marketing strategies would be a little bit different. I'm going to start out by talking about all of the free marketing strategies that I know really work very well. And then at the very end, I'll give you some pro tips if you have a little bit of money to invest. But let's start out with free options. So tip number one on how to find piano students: by word of mouth. Okay, now I know what you're thinking. If you're a new piano teacher, you don't really have the network of connections and former students passing the word about your great teaching experience and all that. Yes, I get it. But I mentioned this one first because word of mouth is the number one way that I get new inquiries for piano lessons every day, every week, every month. They're always coming in, and it's almost all from word of mouth. Now, yes, I have a more established business, so I have built up that former customer base, and people are telling people. However, don't discount word of mouth if you're just getting started. Tell everybody. The other day I was at Whole Foods and I was wearing my hoodie that has my business name on the back, and it happened to strike up a conversation with someone whose granddaughter was looking for piano lessons. Piano lessons are so popular and so coveted. Chances are everybody you talk to is going to know somebody who's looking for piano lessons. So just start getting the word out there. Tell everybody, hey, did you know that I actually teach piano? I'm kind of starting a studio. Just blab about it to everybody that you can. Now, if you're an introvert like me, that might be a little bit difficult to do, but just kind of work it into conversations that you're already having anyways. So tip number one to find piano students was word of mouth. Tip number two is your Google business profile. My Google business profile is the second way that most people find me. And this is how you can control people searching for piano lessons, people searching for your studio online. You control what they see when they find your business. Now, before you can claim and update your Google business profile, you do need to have your studio Google account set up. In other words, your free Gmail account is all you need for that. And you'll also have to have your website set up so that they have some place to go to after they find you. If you haven't yet set up a website for your business, then I would encourage you to join my 30-day challenge, Start Your Studio, and the link is down below in the description. One of the things that we go through is setting up your website, getting your business name and your email set up, and all of that is included in the email with more details on exactly how to make those steps happen. So definitely join that challenge if you're not there yet. So once you claim your Google business profile, you'll be able to control exactly what people see when they stumble upon your business. You can post updates, images, kind of like a social media thing. You can also ensure that the correct website link is live and you've got the phone number so that they can contact you really easily. So the number two way that people find me is they're Googling piano lessons near me. And so you want to make sure that your presence on Google is really polished and really comprehensive so that in a list of relevant businesses in your area, yours stands out as looking professional and like you're ready to take on new students. So tip number one was word of mouth. Tip number two was your Google business profile. Tip number three is Facebook groups. Now, you want to go where the parents of your potential new students are hanging out. And for me, even today, that's still Facebook. I know Facebook is like for old people, but I don't really like Facebook personally. But for my business, I've got to be on there because that is where the parents are hanging out. They're in the groups, they're asking each other parenting questions. And one of those parenting questions is most definitely, hey, where can I find a good piano teacher in town? And you want to be around when that question gets asked because you have the right answer. So in short, Facebook groups are a great way to connect with parents in your area. Now, there's a specific marketing strategy that I use on Facebook, and it's a 9-step strategy. So if you're curious for more information on how to find those potential students and get the word out there on Facebook, then I encourage you click the link down below because I have a freebie Facebook marketing checklist that will walk you through all of those steps and how long each one takes and how long you should wait before you do the next one. And it's very detailed. So check that out if you want to dive into the Facebook world. But if you don't want to go full force on Facebook, you need to at least make sure that your business has a Facebook business account so that people are searching for you, they can find you. And then if your name comes up on those Facebook groups, even if you're not present, somebody else might say, hey, I saw this person, they can link to your profile. So make sure that your Facebook business profile is updated and it's got some pictures and some posts up there, even if you're not going to be actively involved in it every single week. All right, so tip number 1 was word of mouth, 2 was Google Business Profile, 3 was Facebook, specifically Facebook groups, and tip number 4 is Instagram. So again, you want to hang out where the parents are. Now I feel like in the next few years, people will start migrating less on Facebook and more into Instagram. However, Instagram doesn't have that group community sort of vibe going on, so it doesn't work as well for me. However, it is still really, really good to have a presence on Instagram because so many people in that age group love Instagram and they're going to be hanging out on there. So create an Instagram business profile, put some pictures, a few posts up there. You don't have to go full force into Instagram. In my opinion, it's not worth it because Instagram, in order to grow a real audience, you really do have to show up every single day. And for me, the ROI, return on investment, not really there. I haven't found enough students on Instagram to make that worth it. However, be present on there, have your business, your logo, some pictures of your studio, a little video of you talking about you as a teacher, something like that. Just have something for people to find. And then once you have your business profile up on Instagram, just start following local groups, organizations, schools, neighborhoods, things where, you know, parents might be hanging out in your community, and just kind of like make it a place to just be present in your community's social media world. It's less likely that you're going to see someone on Instagram commenting, do you know a good piano teacher? But you can still potentially make some connections there, and you might receive some inquiries through the DMs on Instagram for someone who prefers Instagram to Facebook. So we had 1, word of mouth, 2, Google Business Profile, 3, Facebook groups, 4, Instagram. Tip number 5 is Nextdoor. Nextdoor is a neighborhood community. It's sort of a social media platform. And so what you do is you find your specific neighborhood, you have to prove that you live there, and then you join your neighborhood community. You can show up as a person or you can show up there as a business. They do have paid business opportunities, but you can also get your name out there for free. And I have found some connections on Nextdoor, definitely. The nice thing about it is you are literally in a community with people who live near you. So if you're teaching out of your home, this is super ideal. If somebody is looking for a piano teacher and they live 1 block away from you, you are going to be their top pick for sure. So this is really great if you don't have like a super impressive resume or a lot of reviews on your website yet. People, just because of proximity, are going to consider you first. So Nextdoor is definitely one to check out. All right, so far we have 1, word of mouth, 2, Google Business Profile, 3, Facebook groups, 4, Instagram, 5, Nextdoor. Tip number 6 is flyers. Yes, like actual physical paper flyers. Yes. So although this is something that I definitely don't do anymore after 10 years in business, it is something that I did in my first year starting my at-home studio. I made a little little flyer on the computer. I printed them out and I took them around to all of the local grocery stores and bakeries and coffee shops and stuff like that. And I actually did get some phone calls from those people who said, hey, I saw your flyer in the grocery store and we are looking for a piano teacher. So although this is not probably the best use of your time to be driving around updating your flyers all the time, if you're just getting started out and you don't have a ton of connections for that word of mouth, I highly recommend just doing a little canvassing with some flyers. So if you're looking for like, okay, how am I going to make a flyer? The easiest way I recommend would be to get a free Canva account. And there's a link down below. So Canva is basically like an online design app. It's super easy to use. They have tons of images and graphics, cool fonts on there. It's really easy to even just pick a template that you like the look of and just change the words. That concludes all the free ways to market your business. Not a penny has been spent yet, except for the paper to print out those flyers. So we had the word of mouth, we had the Google Business Profile, we had the Facebook groups, we had the Instagram, we had Nextdoor, and then we have the paper flyers. So let's talk about paid online services. If you do have some money to invest, you might be able to get even more students in your area by using an online service that connects potential students, people who are Googling, I'm looking for piano lessons in this town, to you, the piano teacher looking for students. So the one that I've used the most is thumbtack.com. There's also lessons.com, and there is Angie's List, formerly Angie's List. Now I believe it's like Angie.com, and there's also Bark. Those are some of them. So these are literally like connection platforms. They're connecting a customer to a business. They make the connection, so you're basically paying for the lead and then you take it from there. What I love about this is as soon as you gain that lead and you make a connection with the customer, you can then connect with them on your terms, so you don't have to keep connecting through the same platform. Now, there are some other platforms where you communicate permanently through that platform with your customer. So an example of this would be SuperProf is one and Take Lessons is another. So basically you are locked in to using their payment system and their communication. It's actually against their policies. If you like email them on the side or give them your phone number on the side, that's against the rules and you can't do that. That I don't like as much because then you're locked into like paying that website a commission each time they pay you and you're like teaching lessons through that platform. So I don't like that as much. I like the lead generating options. So Thumbtack, lessons.com, Angie.com, or Bark would be some options for that. Now, I know that was a lot of options. You don't have to do all of these. You can, or you can pick a couple of platforms and start from there. The number one thing I would recommend is as soon as you start getting some inquiries into your phone, into your inbox, you want to start asking people, hey, where did you hear about me? Most people are super obliged to just let you know where they saw or heard about you. And then you can kind of start to gauge, okay, where is it worth my time? If you put all those flyers out there and you spend 2 days driving all around your town and not one person after 3 months has said, I saw your flyer, then that, my friend, is not a good use of your time. So you can kind of gauge where to put your efforts. And I want to encourage you that it really does get easier. You're going to be hustling for every single new lesson inquiry that you get for that first year, for those first 6 months, for those first 3 months especially. But it gets easier and easier. After 10 years in business, I really don't put any time or effort into marketing anymore because my word of mouth has such momentum now that I really always have a long waiting list of students who are waiting to take lessons with me. And so I really don't have to search out those new students anymore. I don't say that to brag. I say that to encourage you. Yes, it feels like a hustle at first, but once the momentum gets rolling, people are going to be calling and emailing you. So hustle to get those first few students and then focus on providing the best piano lesson experience for both your students and their families. So I wanted to mention my 30-day challenge once more. If you are just getting started in your studio, you haven't really taught your first lesson yet, then this email challenge is for you. I'm going to email you 12 actionable steps, including how to find that first student, but we're also going to set up all the logistics and all the business side of things to make sure that you are really starting a profitable business from day one, from you're teaching that very first lesson. So sign up for that email challenge in the description. And to keep watching, check out, if I had to start my studio all over again today, what would I do differently? I hope to see you on the next video.